Hello all, it's James Johnson, aka Sulphurblade. Welcome back to my channel, welcome back to my content, and welcome back to another help video on Windward Horizons. So in this particular episode, I'm going to focus on the process of settling a new province. How to do it. And the subtle intricacies that maybe the game doesn't clearly explain. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is you need to come across the mission to settle a new province. As you can see here, we have that mission available in the tab. And I figured we would have it here at Mesworth. Mesworth is my largest town in the game currently. It's got the most robust economy of any of the towns in the game. So that would be my suggestion. If you're looking to get a settle a new province type mission, probably go to one of your bigger towns on your map, if not the biggest. It's probably the one most likely to have the mission itself. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up, and we'll go settle a new province. Alright, we're going to go to the world map. Now that we're at the world map, the game is not going to be quite helpful yet. Okay, well, let's start traveling, shall we? Alright, we'll pause it here. You see these little yellow dots? These little yellow dots just means that... How do I put this? Those are not the locations to settle the town per se. Those are maybe recommendations. However, the town has to be within a certain distance of one of these question marks, or you can't settle it. So while you do not have to build right on the question mark, you do have to build within a certain distance of the question mark, or you won't be able to do it. So that's the first confusing thing with this process of settling a new province, is you have to have one of these question marks in the vicinity of where you're wanting to put the new town. Okay, so with that being said, let's get back underway. So I'm kind of wanting this new town to be somewhere over here by my other town. And I'm going to try this little inlet here first off. It just gives me a feeling, right? Actually, I'll go here between these two question marks. And I'm going to hit this eagle. Ahoy, Captain. Settling a new province here would give it access to wild sheep and flax. So I could take a closer look, and then I could zoom into the map right here, and I could found the town, and it would have access to wild sheep and flax. But I'm not happy with just 2 resources. I want 3 resources, maybe even 4. So we're going to continue to look. So we traveled a very short distance, and now we only have flax. So that's telling me that the flax is either on this little island over here somewhere, but the sheep could have been here, or the sheep could be here. So if we continue sailing and we head back over yonder this way, for instance, and we go back to looking, it says flax. So the flax is somewhere in this neighborhood, so the sheep was probably up here. And I'm just going to go up there to show you that the sheep should probably be up there. Yeah, see, wild sheep and flax. So flax is somewhere in this island group. The sheep is probably on this island. I don't know if this tiny little thing is considered good enough, but we'll look around it. Nothing but sea and reefs. Okay. Well, let's go where I originally wanted to look at. Nothing has caught my eye here. All looks rather bland. Cattle. It's kind of a fun one. I wouldn't mind cattle, but I'd also like cattle plus sheep. Wild sheep and cattle. This is tempting because these are both ranch goods. So with the ranch we could get meat and milk, and we could get wool and meat. So there's a good synergy here. However, we're kind of right next to a place that already has a ranch. I'm pretty sure that's the ranch icon is the horseshoe. But it doesn't have ranch items. Strange. Okay. Let's keep looking around here though. I'm being greedy. I want more than 2 items, even though those two do synergize well together. Jute. So look often. Cattle and cattle. Okay, just 1 cow. But we got jute here. There's probably a spot where I could get cattle, and jute. Jute, cattle, and cattle. That's interesting. However, nah. Let's continue sailing. Continue looking. Jute, cattle, and cattle. Jute, cattle, and cattle. Let's look at the question mark itself. Wow, wild animals, jute, cattle, and cattle. I wonder if that was complete coincidence that there were 4 resources immediately on the question mark. Let's go check this question mark just to see if maybe these question marks are already predetermined to be really good spots. wild animals in Jute. Okay. We'll head down to that question mark just to see. Yeah, just flax, a single flax. I think that just happened to be a lucky coincidence up there. Although it was a good one. Jute and flax. No. Press the wrong button. But that's okay. I can just immediately turn around and leave. This is not a big deal. Continue sailing. Let's head back up here. That is really pretty good. Double cattle should mean that there'd be a lot of milk, which is a beverage. So not to mention there'd be a lot of food. A lot of food, a lot of beverage. Jute. What is jute for? Is jute for making burlap, maybe? So this jute might actually be a way to make clothing. Yeah, let's put it here. We're gonna take a closer look. Okay, so now you've determined where you want to build the city. Now you actually go into the map and you get to place your first town. Now there is a couple of ways to think about this. Having your first town be very close to the exit, well, that allows you what's the word I'm looking for? A lot less BS moving around. Kind of like this spot. The other problem is, though, when pirates attack, because you're so near to the edge of the border, it has pros and cons. You, with the combination of the AI and towers, can actually kill the pirates as they're appearing one at a time onto the map. That's a benefit. But because you are on the edge of the map, I feel like you more frequently end up with your town getting captured by the random pirate that shows up to mess with you. Now if I sail around too much here, I might end up getting attacked by a pirate myself. Sometimes you want to make your choice sooner than later, because the longer you sail around this map, the more chance you are to trigger a pirate attack. It's an interesting spot. I can envision a defensive tower there, a defensive tower there, maybe even a lighthouse along here somewhere. I think I like it. We're gonna place it here. So you just press this settle a new province button here, and then we need a name. And I've used just about every combination of Johnson I can think of. Johnsonville. How about New Jamestown? Sure. The province of New Jamestown has been settled, and here we are. So that's how to do it, folks. Just like that. Maybe I'll do a little bit more about how do you get this thing functioning. Well, the easiest way is fishing. Why did I trigger Bloodthirst? Because pirates, of course. Alright. So, if you're here to figure out how to place and yeah, I've done the point of the video. At this point, we could look here to there are no missions yet because the town is still kind of under construction. So what I recommend at this point is to look for spots to fish. So fishing is the easiest way to come across. Here's a fishing spot. Fishing is the easiest way to come across town supplies. Town supplies are great for getting a brand new town off and started. And if you get a lot of the question marks, you tend to get slightly more profitable, better rewards when you're fishing. So if you're fishing for the purposes of getting the town supplies, I would recommend getting as many question marks as you can. Though that could just be incidental. I haven't got a large enough Oh, this is a diving spot. What is the turn I'm looking for? I've only fished a few hundred fishing spots. I haven't fished thousands of fishing spots, so the smaller the amount of time you've done something, the more coincidence involved, where some things like this is a diving spot, like the fact that the times I've spent grabbing more of the question marks than just grabbing the fish right off the bat could be a complete coinky-dink. You know, it might not really be Alright, the province of Johnsonville has come under siege. Oh, that's my province, right? Well, that's nothing new. Johnsonville's always under attack by pirates. I find it easier to look for fishing spots on the map than in the actual world itself. Spot. That sounds like a fight here somewhere. Yep. Pirates. Here's a fishing spot. It's a diving spot. So the blue bar on the left is how much time you have to do this minigame. The blue bar runs out, you run out of time. The green bar is how fast the fish moves. And the red bar is how much how much damage you've done to the fish. You gotta fill the red bar up to win. If you're wondering about the fishing minigame, it's pretty simple. Anyway, again, the reason I'm doing all this fishing is I'm trying to get some town supplies. Town supplies are these little crates that you can get as loot. I hung up on ground? Yes, hung up on ground. So it's loot that you can get from fishing, as well as there's other ways of getting it, but I found fishing to be the most common? Reliable. Yeah, the most reliable way to get them. Well, there probably is one way that's more reliable than fishing, and that's to do missions. But we don't have any missions available in this town yet. Now what did I run into? Tiny piece of land. It's a diving spot, not the fishing spot. There we go. Town supplies, that's what we're looking for. Show portraits of a young blonde-haired woman. Right click to examine. What is this? Hand-drawn portrait. Nice looking portrait. Find the woman. Okay, well, that's neat. This game has lots of unique ways of tossing new content at you. I like that type of, wow, I just pulled a picture up from fishing and now I'm unlocking evidently a new quest line. That's cool. I like that. That's well done. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to show you that if I come down here, and then we're going to wrap up this video right afterwards. With said growth is absent, right? 0%. We are, what the heck? 26% security. How is this more secure than my other place? That doesn't even make sense in my mind. Oh well. So I hand this over, and it didn't move the needle. Is it because we're paused? It might be because we're paused. Okay, so 0, growth absent average. So we'll shut this down. We'll let the game move forward. We'll go back in, and yeah, we've got a little bit of progress made here now. 40% progress. We were at 0 before, and prosperity went up a little bit. So handing in those supplies works a lot when your town is brand new, because inside of those supplies is basically food, beverage, and clothes. That's essentially what is in that packet I just gave, was food, beverage, and clothes to the town to help kickstart it. Anyway, this seems like as good place as any to wrap up this episode, as we have accomplished everything there is to the whole process of getting the quest, figuring out where to place the town, ensuring that one of the yellow markers on the map was near enough to the town to allow you to find it. If you don't have a yellow marker nearby enough, you can't place the town. We found a good location that has 4 resources available on the map, and then we went and we found a place to place it on the map, and we collected some supplies via fishing to throw into the town to get it kind of started and moving along. So this has been pretty much everything there is to how to place your own province. Hopefully this helps you out if you're curious on how to do it. I'm Jim Johnson, aka Softplay. This is my content. Hopefully you're enjoying it. If so, please smash that like button, consider subscribing, and until the next time, all peace.